Okay, I'm so excited about the Zoom. I've been looking forward to it all day. I was like, Jacob, I got to get home like stat to get on this. So I'm really, really excited. I knew Rochelle was coming, and I possibly knew Leah was coming, but she's actually here. So we got double the goodness, guys. I'm really excited.
Double
So
trouble.
I'm really excited about this because I feel like I have a lot of people on here that work full time and has kids and all those things. And I know for both of you guys, Rochelle, you had a baby, I believe, and worked full time, and Leah, you worked full time with no children. So I kind of like that y'all both are on here because of y'all have kind of different, similar but different stories.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I would love to know, and it doesn't matter who goes first, but I would love to know how y'all did it. Because I know, Rochelle, you went triple diamond working full time.
I did.
Correct. So
I did. And Leah, we actually quit our jobs the same month.
And so
nice.
I went
We did.
Prez.
Yeah, she went Prez because Leah skipped triple. She went double to Prez. Crazy, right? Like, let that sink in. And I went double to triple. Like, that's what most people do. But Leah just like took it another
yeah, I
level.
did that too.
Yeah, that's what you know. Which is still really great and exciting. So we both promoted that spring after conference, and we quit our job maybe even the same week. Like we
As
quit.
soon as commissions posted.
Yeah.
So I'll tell that story.
Yeah.
But.
Do you want to share your
Oh, sure.
a little bit first?
Okay, so maybe some of y'all don't know me all that well, but obviously I live in Kansas City, same as Rochelle. Since we're in the same place, I'm at Rochelle's house. So I started this business and I was working full time. So I was in meeting and event planning. I actually did a lot of online meetings. So like we have Zoom right now, there was something before Zoom called WebEx. And so I was like the host of the meeting and I was doing all this stuff. So I didn't have a lot of like free time to be doing my own things. So I had to, It Works was purely like on the side part-time. But the thing is like, I didn't love my job. Well, I shouldn't say that. When I was working my job, it was fine. It was fine. And I just wished that I made more money. There was not any way for me to ever make more money at that job. It just wasn't. Like, I had two bosses. They were the, supervisors of my department. The only way for me to ever get a raise would be to promote to their jobs. And I didn't want to do what they were doing because they had so much more responsibility. So I was fine with my job, but I just wasn't making that much money. And I wanted to make more because we had accrued a lot of credit card debt, just with like our wedding and medical bills and stuff like that. So we had credit card debt. That was my driving force to start. And I was like, if I could just, make a little bit of extra side money and start to pay this debt down, I would feel good about that. And so, but once I got started in the business, I saw the bigger vision. So I was like, okay, forget making a little bit of money. Like, I see people making big money with this. And I don't even like my job. So why am I working my job? I'm going to set a goal to make enough money to quit my job. And so that is what I did. Like, pretty much when I started, I said my initial goal was double diamond in 6 months. I was like, I'm going to go after it. I'm going to do it. I didn't hit that. I went ruby in about 5 months. But I was still really excited about that. There was no ruby bonus. There was nothing attached to going ruby. But I was still like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Like, I'm promoting. I'm going up through the ranks. I'm making more and more money. So, I did not hit that initial like big goal that I set, but I was still very driven and motivated to keep going. So I didn't ever let that stop me not hitting a goal. I changed the timeline. I didn't change the goal itself. So I still had my sights so super set on double diamond. And I actually thought, when I go double diamond, that's going to be enough money to quit my job. So just to speak like actual numbers, the job I was probably making, salary wise, I think it was like maybe $38,000 a year or something like that. After taxes and all that, it was about $2,000 a month I was taking home, roughly. I don't know. I don't remember. It was 7 years ago. Mm-hmm. But so diamond money was matching that same income. Okay. But I had a goal of when I go double, I'll quit my job. Now, I went diamond in about 9 months. So I matched my full-time income in about 9 months' time working this business on the side. So when was I working? Like any spare moments of the day. You know, when you work a full-time job, it depends on what your job is, but you have breaks. You have lunch. You have before work and after work. You have more, and I will say now, I had a better schedule and a better system for working It Works when I had a full-time job.
Yes.
When you have your whole entire day, you waste it, basically. When you have 5 minutes, you get stuff done in that 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay? So if you are on a tight timeline, understand the blessing of that tight timeline and use it for what it is, and take your 5 minutes and focus and do what you can do in the 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. Instead of wasting time thinking, I don't have time, I wish I had more time, you know, I'm so busy, I'm so stressed out, I can't dedicate anything to this business. Stop that negative talk in your mind, because that's just a thought. Okay, you could also, what?
A lot of people feel like they don't know what to do, or they don't feel like they have enough time for that 5 minutes, or they feel like they get on their phone and scroll and they think it's working and it's really not. You know, it's like, oh shoot, I just wasted 5 minutes of my life stalking someone and didn't interact or whatever, you know?
Yeah, and that's so easy to do. It's so easy to do.
It is.
And I still do that. I'll get on Instagram. Like, I'll have a reason for getting on Instagram. You get on that first page with all the cool videos and all the things. I'm like, what's this? What's this? Like, squirrel brain, for sure. So that is why, you know, start your morning off with a list, a checklist, a physical checklist.
Yeah.
That you can.
Think that's your screensaver. I know people that do that.
Yeah.
And it like just makes them like, okay, you know, I need to do this next or whatever. Like just a reminder.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Or set alarms on your phone. I used to do that because when I don't work, you're like, the day does go. It just goes, and you're like, oh crap, I didn't do anything all day. And it's like I always had to set like alarms on my phone to remind me to do things.
Yeah, utilize tools. Like, you need tools outside of your brain. You need either a planner, a piece of paper, an app on your phone, a timer, and it can be very, very simple and it can be free. But if you give yourself all the time and all the freedom in the world to work this business, you're not going to be laser focused as if you utilize those type of tools to help you.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
So what was since you didn't have a baby then, what was your why? Like, what pushed you to make sure, okay, I'm gonna make this business happen? Because I feel like a lot of times we use our whys as an excuse to not work the business or whatever. I'm too busy, I have kids or whatever, I'm working. And really I know a lot of people want to, you know, stay home with their babies or quit their job. And it's like, you're letting that why become your excuse. And so I kind of want to know, like, what was your why then, and what pushed you to make sure that this, like, failing was not an option? Like, you were going to make time with this business.
Yeah. So I started in 2012. So 2013 is when I went diamond. We got married in 2011. We were just like not in a good financial place, which kind of, you know, again, spurred me to start. So 2 years later was actually when we took our honeymoon. So I went to Cabo the same month I promoted to diamond. And this business is what allowed us to take our honeymoon and, you know, pay off the debt. So my why had nothing to do with kids, and it had nothing to even do with infertility at the time, because it wasn't until 2013 that we even decided to start trying for kids. And so I didn't know I would face infertility. I didn't know I would need money for that. I just knew I really was quitting my job, in all honesty. Because like I said, my job was fine, but once I got into this business and realized the potential and saw that vision of me like owning my own time, it's hard to go to a job. Mm-hmm. It's hard to like punch in the time clock unless you're very passionate about that job. Mm-hmm. And like
It's true.
It's something that you feel like you cannot give the world in any other way. And that's, if you have a job you're super passionate about and it's like, it gives you, like, for example, Rochelle was a teacher and she loved being a teacher.
I never thought I wouldn't be a teacher.
But she's still a teacher in a way, you know, she's still getting to like mentor people and train people. It's just in a very different way. For me, I had no attachment to the work I was doing. And so I wanted out. I wanted out. Once I saw a way out, I was like, get me out. I'm done. And I was counting down to when I could quit my job. So here's the thing is I went double and I wanted to be so financially sure that it was okay to quit my job. Mm-hmm. And that is what I recommend. I mean, I don't recommend just like being like, oh, I'm diamond, bye. Or, you know, everybody's going to be different. But you need to make very certain that you're able to walk away from that job and not add more stress to your life.
Yeah. Not work in fear, I feel like, of.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Yeah.
It's not like you want to be like, okay, I made one, like, I think I wanted to see like a certain amount of months of paychecks. And so I was double and I was like, well, you know what? Like I'm building this business on the side. Like, it's not like I need more time to build this business, which was incredible. So I think I picked a number of 8,000 a month. Mm-hmm. I was like, when I see a check of 8,000 or more, I will quit my job. So I was thinking triple. So I went double and I was like, I'm going to wait for that $8,000 number. And you can make 8,000 as a double, mm-hmm. but I was thinking when I go triple, that's probably when I'll do it. And like they said, I skipped triple. And so I think my first press check was 16,000. Mm-hmm. So I think my double checks were about 6,000. Mm-hmm. So my paycheck went from 6,000 one month to 16,000 the next month. I doubled my goal of when I said I was going to quit my job. I probably picked up the phone the second I saw that.
You did. I like remember.
And I was like, yeah, I'm putting in my 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, and that was just,
yep.
You know what? Like, set your goals really, really big. And be okay with having a goal for a long time.
Yeah.
Because I had that goal for so long. I had that goal basically since I started. And so I think it was like two years and 3 or 4 months mm-hmm. in that I did it. Like that's the best feeling. You know, like 2 years from now, what do you want to do? 2 years is going to pass pretty quickly. Yeah. You know, be okay with setting a really, really big goal and sitting with that goal and letting that goal drive you. And in the course of, you know, from me going diamond to me going presidential, you know, a lot happened. You know, we did realize we were going through infertility. I did have a lot of medical expenses of getting tests done and all that. And we hadn't even decided for sure we were going to do IVF yet, but even knowing like, okay, we have this new medical thing into our lives, I still felt so secure in walking away from the job. And that same month, my other big dream board thing was my Jeep. Mm-hmm. And like, you know, all throughout those 2 years, people be like, what's your why? What's your dream board? I was like, quit my job, get a Jeep, quit my job, get a Jeep. Like I was so focused on that. Like, I don't know why. I just wanted that Jeep.
I think many of us got away from dream boards.
Yes.
It's just different when you actually
so important.
What do you want?
See it on a board, you know, and I'm guilty. Like I need to update mine. Mine still says triple diamond December 2018, but I didn't hit it in December 2018. And that's kind of like what you said, like the goal never changes, the time might. And I feel like so many people get so hard on themselves or like they give up when they don't hit that goal in a certain time frame. And it's like, even if it took you 2 years and some months to hit that huge goal that you wanted to hit, you hit it, you know? You're not like regretting, dang, I wish I would have hit this, you know? You hit it. Yeah. You didn't give up, you know?
Like,
and it's
like leading up to that,
you were still making money.
I was making money, but I mean, I was probably like feeling the pressure, like, oh, I really want this goal. I really want this goal. But now it's like 4 years after that. And I don't tell that story. I tell the story like I did it. So like give yourself some grace in these months when you're like, I really want this. It's not happening yet. I really want this. It's not happening yet. As long as you're working towards that,
it will happen.
It will happen.
I think that's so important, is having that faith too. Like, and knowing that the belief, like you have to have that. And that's the hardest thing about this. That is what separates the people that rank up and make the big money and the people that don't, because the people that don't quit, they quit too early. And like, that's all it is. Like everybody's journey is different, you know? But yeah. So real quick. Okay. So I know, Courtney, you said there's a lot of teachers on here. Like I know
teachers. Yeah. People in general that work full time that really can't be on their phones a lot. Okay. And it's hard for me to be like, yeah, you can do that then, but I do this.
I can speak to that. Yeah, I can speak to that. Okay. So, I taught 6th grade. I taught for 8 years. I taught 5th grade for a few years in Atlanta, and then I moved back to Kansas City, where I was originally from, and I taught 6th grade. I had a stickler of a principal, like your cabinet is locked or your phone is locked in your cabinet. If she came into my classroom and saw my cell phone, I would be called into her office. Like that was the type of school I was working in. And that's the principal I had when I promoted to triple, when I promoted to double. So I'll just speak to that. First of all, I'm just going to be real. When I first started, and I heard sometimes when people were like maybe people had like a job like my husband had at the time, where like he was on his freaking phone all day. I know he was, not all day, but like he could be on his phone. Like if I text him, he texts me right back. Like if he could go take an hour lunch with his coworkers, and like you guys that are maybe teachers, nurses, and maybe other jobs too. Like, I mean, I had a 21-minute lunch, and that included walking my 6th graders to the cafeteria. That included me going to the bathroom for the first time in 3 hours. That included me heating up my freaking Lean Cuisine that I think I took every day. And I had to walk back and pick them up. So like that was my break,
You had no time either.
But I still made it. Like I still got out my phone during that time. So first of all, like for some of you, if you're like, I get it. Like when I first started and I saw like, oh, they're a stay-at-home mom. Like, of course they're doing this. Like that's easy. Like for them, like they're home all day. Like, like whatever. Like they don't have anywhere to go. So first of all, if you're thinking like that, I used to be there too, but I really encourage you to get out of that, because that's just feeding your excuses and your fears that you can't do it. Because for
my excuse was I'm not a mom.
Yeah, because you thought we were all building our business in mom groups.
Yeah, I was like, everyone is like a mom, and I'm not. And they're like, oh, just meet people at play groups. And I'm like, I don't go to play groups. Yeah. And so
there's always a reason.
Yeah, there's always something in your mind telling you
you can't.
Everybody else can do it but me.
Yeah.
And what helped me was finding an ambassador in my situation. So at that time, there was an ambassador. I think it was Sarah Rankin. She didn't have kids yet either. And so I was like, oh, well, that's actually not an excuse because she did it. So I need to stop thinking.
And now looking back, are you like, man,
I
had it made working this business when I didn't have kids.
Yes. You don't know what you don't know.
You don't. That's true. But so for me, guys, I joined when I have 3 kiddos now, but I joined when my firstborn was 3 months old. My husband he likes to call himself a realist. I call him a pessimist, but whatever. He likes to spin it nicer. But when I started, like, first of all, I was a loyal customer first. I threw on a wrap. My results were phenomenal. And I was like, what the heck? I have 3 sisters. They'll want this stuff. Like, maybe I can make some money. I had a goal of $300 a month. So I was a teacher. I have a red personality. I am very money driven, so teaching like doesn't make sense, right, with that. But I got a job in the highest paying district in Kansas City. I have my bachelor's, master's, and specialist. So I was making about $65,000 a year teaching, having my summers off. So not a bad gig. I mean, honestly, but I went to school for like 7 years, right? But that's my red personality. I'm like, oh, I'm going to look at this page. Like the school district's going to give me a pay scale. Like I want to go all the way to the right and make the most I can. So that's what I did. I didn't. So yeah, I was like, I'm going to do this. So when I joined It Works, I had quitting my job wasn't on the radar. At the time, I was making more than my husband. I was also having my summers off, but then we had this. And so when I had my Reese, my oldest, I remember being like looking back, this makes me sad, but like, I was like angry with God. Like after I had her, I was pissed off because I was going to be a working mom and I was going to be okay with that. Like, that's what I was going to do. And like the whole time I was pregnant, even, I had a good friend. She was actually the first distributor to join my team. She's a presidential diamond. Her name's Jamie Bordner. Jamie had a baby 6 months before me, and she had to go back to work, and we taught across the hall, and she would come back to school bawling every day. And I really, like, I didn't get it. Like, I was like, Jamie, like, he's fine. Like, he's with a sitter. He's fine. And like, because I didn't get it. And then I had Reese, and the second I brought her home, I was like, crap, I get it. Like, this sucks. Like, I don't want to leave her anymore. I was so angry because I thought, like, I was kind of angry with God, but really I was making my own plans, not following his, you know, like I was like, well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a working mom and be okay with that. And she's going to be whatever. But anyways, my heart, I liked teaching. I did. There's definitely flaws in it. If you're an educator, you get that, you know, like you get shit on by a lot of people. Sorry, but you do. So there was that, which sucked, but I thought I was doing what I was supposed to do, you know? Well, so then after Reese was born, my heart just wasn't in it. So I was stuck. I was feeling like a crap teacher, a crap mom, and a crap wife. Like, that's just all there was. Because I felt like I wasn't able to give 100% to teaching because I had this baby I was leaving, and I had to go back to work when she was 6 weeks old. And then I would get home, and you guys know how babies are in the evenings. That's their worst time of the day. Mm-hmm. That's when they're fussy. That's when they're cranky. And those were the only hours I got with her. And I would leave for work before she even woke up in the morning. So that just sucked. It just sucked. So I joined It Works when she was 3 months old. It was June, so it was my summer. And honestly, like, I got that first paycheck and it was like $43, and that's all it took. I was like, man, you can make money from this. Like, this isn't some scam. Like, this is real. I knew Leah, I joined probably about 6 months after you started. So I think when I joined, that's like around the time you went Ruby. Mm-hmm. So that was really motivating for me. Like, Leah and I did parties like crazy when I first started, like just booking, you know, parties. So anyways, so I was busy, guys. But I told myself, I hit $10,000 a month, I'm done. And $10,000 a month, yes, that was a lot more than I made as a teacher, but I get freaked out about money. Like, I don't know, like, my parents just didn't make the best financial choices growing up, and I just never wanted to be in that situation. So I wanted to be like overly confident, if that makes sense. So anyways, I worked my booty off and I was tired. Like, if you are working full time and doing this business, kudos to you. You have a lot on your plate. But I promise you, like Leah said, when you have a set schedule, it's easier to schedule out the increments to work this business. I now have 3 kids and I am home full time, and oh my gosh, like, what the heck? Like, I need to go back to teaching so I can work my business more. And I know that does not make any sense, but it does in my head because it does. But this is what I would do. I woke up at 6 a.m. every day because I had to leave my house by 7 a.m. I woke up. I always check my phone right when I woke up. Anyone messaged me back, first of all, I did not scroll. Like, you have to learn to be present in the moment. And I'm telling myself this because I need to get back to this. If you are working your business, work your business. Message people, get some hacks up, stop scrolling. Like, do what makes you money. Mm-hmm. What makes me money is messaging people, getting my stories up, posting. Scrolling at people's stuff doesn't make you money, okay? So be present with what you're doing. So I would wake up in the morning, get back to messages that were crucial to get back to, and I would go drive to school. When I pulled up in that parking lot at school, I would throw up a post, like, before I went to the school building. Usually it was a product post or something. And then my phone was locked in my cabinet. At lunchtime, I literally had 5 to 10 minutes, and my team would always eat in my classroom, and I got so much crap because they were like, you know, it was like social time, and I was like, I'm working, leave me alone. And like, I would sit at my desk, like they were sitting at tables, and I would get back to messages. I would message people. And then after the school day ended, like, same thing. I had that like 5 minutes sitting in my car before I had to drive off that I would take out my phone and I would be intentional. And then I would go home and I would be intentional with my daughter. And when she went to bed, I got busy. I did. I got busy. Now, I'm not saying I didn't enjoy things in life, because I did. I think it's really important. Like, one thing that it took me a while to learn, when you're doing things halfway, like, okay, The Bachelor, Bachelorette, guilty pleasure. Like, I love it. I love it. Love it. If I am watching The Bachelor and I'm also working my business, I'm not doing either well. Like, I don't know what's happening in my show. I'm not really working my business well. It is so much better for me to just let myself freaking have the 45 minutes on my DVR to watch The Bachelor and then work my business for 45 minutes. I am going to be so much more productive if you are 100% present in what you are doing. Mm-hmm. If it's family time, be present. You know, if you're teaching, be present. Now, one thing I did when I was teaching, y'all can do this. I taught 6th graders. So like when they would test or whatever, I would walk around the classroom, and if it was like quiet, I would always have like my charts in a notebook that I would like take out and just kind of scheme, or I would have like my 100s list that I would update. Are you going to bed? Mm-hmm. Good night. I can't wait to see you in the morning. Reese goes back to school tomorrow, 1st grade. I know, crazy. All right, love you. Night, night. Love you.
Your hair looks really
Isn't it pretty? All right, good night, sweetie.
Have a good first day.
Started when she was 3 months old.
I started when she was 3 months old, and she's in 1st grade. How crazy.
Oh, man.
So I just had to say, like, guys, like, no matter what your gig is, you can do it. Like Jennifer Gilly on my team, she's a diamond. You guys, she has 7 children, and she homeschools them. And her husband, she's a diamond, and her husband's a diamond, and he isn't. This is all her. She homeschools. She has 7 kids, and he's a pilot. He's never home. And she is intentional. Like, I don't know how she does. And she does all this other stuff too. Like she does her, like, she's really involved with her church. Anyways, like, look at people like that. So no matter what your day is like, I promise you can do it. And the fact that you're on this call means you want to do it, like, clearly. So just be present and try, just don't get, like, I hate the word discouraged, but it's this business is a mind game. It's a mind game, and the strongest win. That's just the truth.
Yeah.
Your mind has got to be strong enough to deal with the no's, to deal with a month where your check dips, to deal with 3 months where your check dips, to deal with your team quitting. People are going to quit on you. You guys, I've had, my God, I don't even know how, hundreds of people quit on me. Mm-hmm. I mean, you have to be stronger than that. You have to have the vision, because you're here for a reason, and you can do this. God placed this business in your life for a reason. I strongly believe that. Like, I don't even know what my life would look like without this business. It like makes me like seriously want to cry, because I was so miserable working with Reese. I know I would not have had a second child if I couldn't be home. I couldn't do it. Like, my heart could not do it. And my last day, my last day working was the day before I had number 2, Davis. I knew. So when I promoted to triple, just to give some background, it was a tough year. Reese was, I had Davis. She was right over 2. So she was a toddler, and you know how they are. And then, I had a really rough pregnancy. I threw up every single day for 20 weeks. Like, I was miserable. I lost weight at the beginning. I was a mess. And I was teaching full time at the time. When I was puking while teaching. It was horrible. But I was still working my business. Like, I was, because it was important to me. Like, my babies were more important. So, and then after I stopped puking, I got really big, and then I got really miserable because I was enormous. But I had him middle of May, and I didn't go back to school after that. I mean, I had, we signed contracts, I think in April, and that's when I let my district know. But I knew the day I had him, I wasn't going back, and I haven't been back since. And it's been amazing. And yeah, and I promoted to triple in March, and he was born in May. And then I'm going to go on from there real quick. He was a very difficult baby. He cried for 14 months straight, legit, colic, reflux, had like the protein allergy. I couldn't nurse him.
Yes.
You what?
Logan has a protein allergy, but I'm nursing, so I can't have dairy.
Oh, well, he had like, they think like the protein in my breast milk. Like I gave up dairy for like 2 months, did nothing. He dropped tons of weight. My like chunk of a baby. Anyways, it was a tough year. It was a tough year in my marriage. It was a tough year with him because my oldest was a pretty easy baby. And I literally thought I was losing my mind. I was a teacher and now I'm home trying to run this business. And I have this baby that literally won't stop crying. Looking back, it's such a blessing because I don't think anyone could have watched him. Like my mom, who is a saint and watches all of her grandbabies whenever we ask her to, which is awesome, she was too scared to watch them. Like she wouldn't watch them. So looking back, it's such a blessing that I had this business and I could be home with him. And thank goodness he turned 14 months. He got tubes in his ears. His belly got better and he started sleeping. But I promoted to presidential when he was only 9 months old. So that year was my busiest year for sure. Was my first year at home with my second baby. And then Reese, that sweet little first grader, was a terror after he was born because, you know, all the attention wasn't on her anymore. So that was my most challenging year, but I still figured it out. Like, just know that you can figure it out. I promise you. Mm-hmm. It's just not always going to look pretty. My house never looked pretty that year I went pres. Maybe if I had guests over, maybe then it looked pretty, but that's it. Like, you know, and that you just have to be okay letting some things go like that because it's just a short period of time. It doesn't mean it's going to be like that forever. But me working like that set me up. We built this house because of that. I quit, you know, so many things. So just know that you can do it. You just have to be super organized. And also a tip. Or not. Organize in your business when you're working, but everything else can go.
Like I have like a little thing, like when I feel like when we go back to like, you know, watching TV and stuff, that's the time that I can add to my network because that doesn't take thought. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But like I cannot work in chaos when I'm messaging people. It has to be quiet. Or I'm listening to a motivational video that gets me hyped up and then I'm like, yes, you know, like messaging like super fast. But I feel like doing the hard stuff like when you have those moments, and then when it's chaos, you can add to your network and things that don't take a lot of thought. Right? I mean, do you feel like you did that kind of thing maybe?
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
Well, like figure out your best times of when you do your work the best. So like maybe in the morning you're like super focused and do things that are a little bit harder then. Or maybe in the morning you're like really groggy and you don't know what's going on yet.
I don't work
until you have your coffee.
I love a morning work. I'm all morning. My brain works.
Just, you know, go do your adding or do your interacting or something more mindless. You know, there's very simple steps that we take for this business, you know?
Yeah, you have to
posting,
figure out what
messaging, adding, follow up. Like
it's the same for everybody.
Know what you're doing and know when's your best time to do each thing. And, you know, like if you have a full-time job, that's a great time for you to like do a bunch of work at once. Like write out 10 posts in 1 hour a night and you have posts for the next 10 days. When you get in a groove of like writing your opportunity post or your story, like do that all at once.
You guys know what I had to do when I taught, and I still do it sometimes. I work best, like, I feel like y'all are a lot younger than me, but I work best behind my laptop, like not my phone, like because I work my business mainly on Facebook and I prefer to message on my laptop. So I work best when I, no joke, make myself a cup of coffee at 7 p.m. and I sit at my table in my kitchen. And I get freaking busy and I work till like late. And I do not do that every night. But when I was teaching, usually like one night a week at least, sometimes if I was a promotion season, you know, more than that, that helped me. And also if you do have kiddos and you have a significant other, husband, like I had to have conversations with my husband, like, hey, like even when he didn't get it, like I know you don't get why this is so important to me, but this is important to me. And what do you want to do this weekend? He always wants to work out. Like that's his stress release. I would love to work out. Cool. How about this? You get to go to the gym for 2 hours and then I get 2 hours from like 2 to 4 today. And that's when I would like lock myself in my basement or wherever and I would work. So, you know, you don't do that every weekend, but even doing that every now and then, it just helps.
Mhm. You have to really treat this as a job, as a business. I mean, it is your business, but I think some people tend to see it as like just this thing that I kind of maybe,
if it works,
I kind of, you know, I throw up a post sometimes and I see what happens. But if you really laser focus in on this is your job,
we'll pay you.
It will pay you like a job, and it will pay you much better than any job you're working right now.
Mhm.
I think one time I heard like we get paid surgeon money for working part-time. And it's true. It is true. The potential income that this business can pay you is phenomenal. And you never really have to do different things than what you're doing when you start. You know, it's steps to success. It's for customers, for distributors.
So bad. It's so simple. We try to overcomplicate it in our brain because it's so ridiculously simple, and it's the same thing every day. And I feel like people are like, I don't know what to do. I don't know this. I don't know that, and it's just like going around in circles.
And you know what else I get back to? Because I'm just going to be honest. Do I wake up so excited to message people every day? No, I don't every day. I don't. Just like when I had to wake up at 5:30, 6 a.m. to go teach every day, I also was not overly excited. Was I overly excited for parent-teacher conferences every year? Heck no. But I had to show up because that was my job, right? So the days where I don't feel strongly passionate, first, you know, now I am passionate about this company. I am passionate about this product, but obviously my passion comes in waves, right? And that's normal, just like it did when I was a teacher. But even the days I don't feel super passionate, I show up. And that's what you have to like treat it as. Like
to
like,
get paid.
Like your why just needs to be, your why needs to be so big that it makes you show up when you don't want to, you know? In summer, yeah, you guys, gosh, summer has been rough for me too. My goodness, has it been rough for me. My oldest goes back to school tomorrow. See ya. My boys go back. My boys go in a few weeks. I'm sending my baby to PDO a couple days a week. We lived in this house for over 2 years, and I've never been in my house without kids, ever, ever. Because whenever I've gotten a sitter, they come to my house, and I have to leave, and you guys, I'm so excited. So summer has been rough, like so rough. So those of you saying that, I get it. I get it. But you know what? Those of you saying that, you've still been working your business because I've seen you work your business. So give yourself some grace for that. Like, kudos to you. Like, you still.
And it's not too late to start.
No.
Now it's never too late, you know.
And now is the time to really start ramping back up because of this is the mindset of us.
Everybody's
this is the mindset
routine.
of everybody.
Everybody.
This is the mindset of our customers. This is the mindset of our potential distributors. Kids are going back to school, so they're like, okay, I'm going to get on a routine. I'm going to like start making money. I'm going to start doing my side hustle. I'm going to start, you know,
losing weight. I'm going to start going to the gym.
I can go back to the gym. I want to take my thermophyte. Like, this is baby January.
It is.
Okay. Yeah. We all saw what January did in our businesses. If you were here then, and it was like an explosion, is because they introduced Thermophyte X, but it's also just because it's January. That is, our business goes in cycles.
And if in the work you do now will make you successful when
That's
the
what I was about to say. Because looking back at me promoting to triple in January, I was thinking like, okay, what did I do to get to triple? And y'all could probably say the same thing. Is
everything you did
now, this month, next month, October, November, December, those were the months I was busting my butt to get to triple. And you know, my goal was like, okay, I'm gonna go triple November. It didn't happen. Or October even didn't happen. Right. November didn't happen. December didn't happen. Okay, freaking January, you know, and you can't. But the months like this from here on out, that was the work that I put in now that got me to triple. It wasn't December and then triple January. It does not work that way. So you have to kind of think like, the things that you are doing now is going to pay off when you go hit that goal or whatever it is that you're wanting to hit. I mean, you promoted in March, so I'm sure like a lot of, and I don't know, Leah, you what months you promoted, but it's months before you hit your promotion that it's the work months prior.
And I had the same goal of triple in December. So I was working very, very hard towards triple in December. And it didn't happen. It didn't happen for me in December. I was like devastated. Come to find out,
God had better.
I double promote and there's bonuses attached to it. So like, but had it not been for the work, just like you, of pushing for that goal, it wouldn't have happened. So now is the time to, there's cycles of our business, but you can either like ride the wave or not ride the wave. There's a wave coming and you have to work hard to ride the wave. It's not going to take you anywhere if you don't go with it.
And I'm going to be honest. I feel like, I don't know, like I always think of like a metaphor, like it's almost like a wheel. Like if you haven't like when you're working every day and you're being consistent, like that wheel's spinning, it's spinning fast. Like you're going fast, you're picking up steam, like you're going places. But every day you don't work your business, it starts to slow down and it starts to slow down. And when it stops, if you've been idle for that long, you can always get it moving again, but it's going to take more work and effort. Every day you don't work your business, it's that many more days of work before you're going to get your next enrollment. It will happen.
I never heard you say that, and that makes so much sense.
Doesn't it make sense? Yes. I never said it before.
It's an aha moment.
But it really, though, it's like that. Like you can get that momentum and that speed up again, but it's going to be harder.
So much easier to keep it spinning.
And why are you going to make that harder on yourself? And guys, there are days I work my business and so many days, and I don't sign anybody. People aren't responding to me. The only messages I'm getting are loyal customers that want to cancel their auto shipments. I have so many days like that. But you need to stop measuring your day's success off of enrollments only. Your success is, did you show up? Did you do your non-negotiables on your checklist? If you did, good. You need to have faith that you're going to be rewarded for that work. If it's not today, it may not be tomorrow. It may not be next month. It may be 5 months from now, but you will be. So I think that is so crucial. Like, I don't know. I think that was a big turning point for me. Like I used to get so almost like, I don't know, like I do think it's important to stay out loud. Like I'm going to enroll 2 customers today. I got this. Like that's because that keeps you going. That keeps you motivated. But go to bed at night and be proud of yourself, even if you didn't, if you still put in the work.
And then know it's coming. Like that's the belief and the mindset piece is like, you can have a few discouraging days. And then if you have no faith of anything else, then you're just like, well, I guess that's it. That's it for me. I had my good run or whatever. I was a one-hit wonder. But like, if you have faith to know that it's coming, I believe any work you do comes back to you. Just may not be in the way that you expect. So if you're like, oh, I really want to sign a customer today. I'm going to do this, this, and this. I'm going to message this many people. And it didn't happen that day. Like in 5 weeks, somebody might respond to one of those messages that you sent that day. And you'd be like, oh, glad I put in the work that day. Like we get paid over and over on what we do, but we also get paid like from work that we put in consistently daily. And that wheel analogy is like so true.
Well, I know like it's usually a lot of times when I feel like there's crickets and there's nothing going on, I'm like, oh yeah, it's about to blow up because I'm like doing all the work. And next thing you know, it would be like weeks or even a month later. And it's like DT. It's like 3 in a day, 5 that week or whatever. It's because I'd never stopped putting the work in, even on those days that I didn't feel like, oh my God, no one's signing up, because it can get aggravating because you are putting the work in, but just know like it's the calm before like the storm, but not in a bad way, not a bad storm, but a great storm. It's just like it's about to happen. If it's real quiet and you're putting your messages and your posts every day, I feel like it's about to just blow up. And it always happens. I don't know why sometimes it's like the beginning of the month, it's like crickets, and then the end, it's all like all these customers and distributors coming about. And I just know it always ends up being that way.
And the company has our back, I feel like sometimes too, you feel like it's crickets, then it's like some promo comes out or something. And now you have this whole list of people to follow up with because you have been working,
Yeah.
But
build your list. Be building your list.
And something, Phyllis, I love what you wrote too in the comments. Know that we can all work our business differently. Instagram isn't really my jam. I'm just going to be honest. I put my stories up there because they transfer to my Facebook. So why not, right? But and I'm not going to say I have had periods in my business where I have worked Instagram more, but for me, I see the most success and I feel the most confident on Facebook. So, but like Phyllis, like maybe you want to do more in-home parties or try-its or sip and samples. There are so many ways to grow your business, you guys. Social media is the most convenient way for most people. So that's why we go towards it. But like when I went diamond, I had my aunt had to get together for me. My husband's friend's wife, like I literally, if I did not have events, like parties, I wouldn't have gone diamond. So
we have so many things.
There's
so many more things to actually
try.
sample now. All we had at those were greens. We're like, here, try the greens.
Now
and wrap. I mean, put a wrap on.
And now we have like the coffee, the collagen, like, so no, and I know like people are like, I don't want to go to a party to have to spend money, but you don't have to spin it like that. Like you don't have to be weird. Like you can just be like, hey, like I have all these like extra samples. I'm just like super excited about, just stop by, like no pressure, like whatever, you know? I think like my mom's generation is a great group to have get-togethers and parties because I typically find they are looking for an excuse to get together with their friends. Or moms, like, gosh, man, if my husband gives me, like, if he doesn't have plans and I can have a night out, like, y'all just tell me where to be. I will show up. I don't care. Give me an excuse to just get out for a night. Maybe actually put on some makeup. Like, I'll do it. And I think a lot of people are like that. Like,
yeah, we probably should do more of that.
I know, we really should.
It's just we are spoiled with social media because you can do so much on social media, but that doesn't mean
it's the only way.
It's the only way.
It's not the only way. Find your groove.
You know, you can talk to whoever you want to talk to. Like if you feel more comfortable talking to people your own age, like find out where they're hanging out and what they're doing, and you know. But I mean, I'm 35. And so when I'm talking to a 20-year-old, I feel like there's a big age gap, but I still want to talk to them because I'm like, you need to understand the value of this business. And I think some do and some don't. But those are some of the people in our industry who are killing it right now because their entire generation is new to all this. And you know, but anybody of any age can do this. And just like I had an excuse of I wasn't a mom yet, maybe you have an excuse of I'm too young or I'm too old. Find somebody who's an ambassador already who's done it. I know there are ambassadors in their 50s and 60s for sure.
Melody McFarland.
I feel like a lot of people are following people that don't have anything real, like in common with. So like, for instance, me and Kelly Dahl, like we're accountability partners, so we like talk all the time. And like, I'd be like, how's this 20-year-old a freaking presidential? And I'm over here, you know, and she's like, Courtney, you can't relate to her. She has some kids. She's 20, you know, and like, she's like, follow people, like, you know, it kind of gets me back on my toes, but following people that I feel like you have some things in common with, follow people that like maybe that work full time, have kids. If you work full time, have kids, or follow people that, you know, you're around the same age. I just feel like a lot of people follow certain people, which is good, but I feel like we get into that compare headspace, you know, we're like comparing, you know, and I'm guilty of it comparing too, but I feel like a lot of people do that. And I feel like we need to just keep our heads down and focus on what we're doing and not what other people are doing. It's fine to be inspired and learn, but it's good to know because I think a lot of people are looking at you guys as like right now, but they don't know. And that's why I loved getting this Zoom together because it's like, they look at the right now, but they didn't look at when y'all were working and doing all the things to get to where you are now and how hard it was, but you still made it happen because you had such a big vision and why you're doing this. And I think that's all it comes down to.
Yep. Everybody starts with 0 BB. Everybody, you know, like think about that. Like everybody starts at 0 BB in their
starts every month at 0 BB.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I think with the comparison, it can be hard. And like for me, I am the type of person that like, I don't know who a lot of the top, I mean, I've been in the business for 6 years, so I know more of the top leaders that have been in the business as long as I have. I don't know these up and comer newbie people because I get too distracted. Like, so I don't even look. Like, I look at my team because I want to support them, but like, I literally don't look at other leaders' posts because I feel like people join you when you are you. And I think it's good to follow people maybe just for inspiration, but if they're not inspiring you, don't follow them. If they're making you feel bad, don't follow them. Not like they're intentionally making you feel bad, but like, for example, Kristen Spurgeon, Courtney's enroller, and my best friend from college. If y'all follow Kristen, I mean, she
perfect pictures,
perfect blogger style type pictures. You guys, I mean, Kristen's my best friend, but we are so different. I mean, I could spend, 10 hours on my hair, but it won't even look, close to what her hair looks like. I mean, this is just, this is my look.
I see me all the time with this floppy bun.
But I'm just saying, like, Kristen's obviously my best friend, so I look at her pictures and I'm like, oh yes, you're gorgeous, like da-da-da. But if I was a newbie and somebody was like, follow her and she has good ideas, I would probably be like, yikes, I can't make pictures like that, and I can't make pictures like that. That's okay. Like, be you, she's her, that's her. Like, she loves that. Like, but that's not me. That might not be you. So don't feel like you have to fit into a certain mold to be successful with this business. Like Jade Hooper, follow Jade Hooper if you want to see someone that's not edited and like but you know what? Why is Jade in the top so freaking successful? It's
She's
because
100% herself.
She is her
100% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and no apologies.
Mark even said that on stage last year. She wasn't even there. It was something to that effect, and it just inspired her, because I think a lot of people try to be something that they're not. And I started unfollowing people that I was following, like Morgan McIntyre and Cheyenne Knox, all those people that I don't have anything in common with that I was following. I love their pictures. I'm like, what filter are they using? And all these things. It's great to learn off them, but I was realizing I was like getting sucked into scrolling and figuring out what are they doing to get here. And it's like they're doing the same things I'm doing every single day to work my business. They just have been doing it. It's just different because everyone's journey is different.
Yeah. So here's the thing: like, simplify down what we're doing. What are we doing? We're trying to enroll people. We're trying to enroll loyal customers and distributors. Mm-hmm. What motivated you to become a distributor?
Yeah.
People want to make extra money, and they want you to be real about what this is. And so you have to hit it from so many different angles. But if your aim is to sign distributors, talk about the business. Talk about your story. Talk about your enroller story.
Yeah.
Say, I watched Courtney I watched this girl on Facebook for 6 months, and I was so scared, but I saw her life changing. I saw that she quit her job, and that's exactly what I wanted to do. So I got started in this business, and now I'm well on my way, and I'm so excited, and da-da-da. You don't have to be making tons of money yet to share the opportunity every single day in different ways.
And don't make it a big deal too. I think sometimes we make it such a big deal. Like, it's not that much money. You get a lot of product. It's no contract or commitment. Like, that's why I started. Like, I didn't think it was a big deal. When I signed up, I didn't think it was a big deal. And I think sometimes we just get in our own way. We get in our own head. If you feel like you're in a slump, and this is something I'm owning too, stop copying and pasting messages just to get more out. Be genuine. Try to get people on the phone. Send some voice messages. Be more of you. And I promise that helps. Like,
and really get in your heart what we have our hands on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if you're not making what you want to be making yet, like, just know that it's so real and so possible. And there's literally no other way to make this kind of money with a flexible schedule from home. There isn't. There is nothing else.
That's legal, at least.
Nothing else that's legal.
I'm sure there are many illegal.
If you want to become a drug dealer or
which
something
I'm good.
of that sort,
I don't need to do any of that.
It's
I know.
risky. We aren't going to do that.
We're not going to do it.
So there's nothing else. And everybody's wanting this. Everybody's wanting. You guys, I joined a few different groups just to try to be in groups more and network and have that be a way to kind of expand my network. And one of them was like budgeting moms or something. It's constant. It's constant. What's your side hustle? Are you guys doing a side hustle? Oh yes, but I don't want to do network marketing. I'm gonna, drive for Uber or drive for Amazon, or I'm gonna do this. I'm like, you're not gonna make any money doing that. Like people want this. They just need the confidence to know that they can do it, and that they're just so nervous. Everybody's so nervous.
They worry about what people will think.
They worry about.
I worried about what people would think.
Yes, I did too. I said when the night I signed up, and I was like, I'm not posting on Facebook.
Me too. I'm not posting on Facebook. I said the same thing, and
so we have to go back to that mindset.
But then we catch the vision, and we're like, heck yeah, I'm posting on Facebook. I don't care about this person I went to high school with that I haven't seen in 10 years.
And we got flack. I mean, we had people from our high school.
Leah and I graduated from the same high school, and same year even. So, and then there was a presidential the year above us, a presidential the year below us from our high school. And then Leah and I, plus a lot of other people, my enroller actually quit within my first year, but she graduated with us too. And we got flack because I feel like we were one of the first network marketers on social media from like our high school. And
people weren't doing it socially online before. It was strictly parties.
I remember there was one comment that this one girl we graduated with, Sarah Lynn, because she remembers now that I say it. It was probably when I was just a few months in, and this was like a girl she was my friend. I mean, like we had definitely lost touch over college, but like in high school, she was one of my like friends, not best friends, but she was a friend. And she put a post that said something like, is there a way to filter out all these It Works posts? Like, and then horrible hashtags. And then like other people were commenting, and Leah, I think we called each other. And I remember having a night where like I questioned it. Like I let that comment get to me. But then I remember like waking up the next day and letting it drive me. I'm like, who is she to make me feel like I'm making some money with this. I'm having fun. I know these products work. Who is she to make me stop my dream? Like, is she going to show up and pay for me to stay home with my daughter? Heck no. Yeah. So why, don't let people like that bother you. Like in these, I don't know. And like, now I just let it fuel me. Like if I see things like that, I'm like, you're a freaking idiot. Wow. Like, whatever. Like, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Like you're allowed to have an opinion about what's on your Facebook. Like if you don't like political posts and you want to say, oh, I don't like all these political posts, fine, but scroll past. And I'm not going to let that stop me, because you can click unfollow in 1 second. And I know that you don't understand what this means to me and my family. Because obviously still to this day, people are like, I hear people be like, is this a scam? They'll ask me that. Like I'm talking to them about the business. They're like, okay, but is this a scam? Like I get personally offended. I'm like, no, I'm not a scammer. This is how I support my family, but thanks for asking. Like, they're just ignorant. They don't know. They think that, they're just protecting themselves, and they might be talking about things that they've heard. And I'm not going to fault them for their ignorance, but that's just pure ignorance. And we can't let ignorance stop what we're doing. That this industry and this profession has created more female millionaires than any other industry or profession out there. That what we do is so legit. It's so, there's so many positives to it. So find your positives. Why are you doing this, and why do you like it? Do you like the fact that we're like, hey, read self-development books and grow yourself and grow like as a person? Like to me, that's amazing. I would never be the person that I am today if I was still doing my old job, because this is more than just a job. It's like a life development changer, and then it comes with a lot of money too. Mm-hmm. So, money gives you options. Money gives you flexibility. Money gives you the power to, pursue your dreams and help other people pursue their dreams. And it's never a bad thing to pursue more money in your life. And I think sometimes people think, well, who am I? Who am I to try to make all this money, or who am I to try to be rich? And I think you have to have the mindset, like, if you're making a lot of money, you're not taking away money from other people. You're giving it to other people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think we each have like a money bubble. Okay. We each have like a money bubble, and that's a max amount of money we can make. And if you're making this amount of money, the only thing you're doing is not getting all the money of your money bubble. And we all have a big money bubble. Okay. So if you're like, you know, I don't want to like, I'm comfortable, I'm fine, I don't want to be, you know, going after all this money, I don't want my life to be about money. It's not about money. It's about giving your life the most flexible options that it can have. And then, do you guys realize we can pass this business down to our children? This is creating a legacy.
Clam chowder. Hello. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I feel like too, money, that was a big thing. Why, like, the biggest thing that gets in my head is like, I'm not worthy of making this much money. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then it gets messed up a bit. I was talking to Tiffany about this one day. I'll never forget. And she's like, you have to make more money to help more people. Like, it's not like you're just all in it for yourself. Like, you're giving back. You're helping other people start into business, which, yes, you're making money doing that, but you're getting help other people make money with it. And like, the biggest thing I always like to tell people too, and I know that y'all are great with that, is being excited and passionate about what you're doing. If you don't have that, like, no one's going to want what you have, because they don't see, well, why would I join? I mean, why? You know, people see that we have fun with this, and it's so excited. And that's why I'm big about getting people on the phone, because they hear my voice, you know. But I just like that, because I always see your posts and how excited and passionate that y'all are with the business. And I truly feel like that is how y'all have been so successful in this. So
yeah. And I mean, there's times when maybe you aren't. There's times when I have to fake it a little bit. Yeah. I'm like, I don't even know what to post right now, but I'm going to come up with something, and I'm going to go back to maybe my memories and see what I was thinking a year ago and spin something off that, or, you know. But then there's times when I feel it really, 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 really deep down in my soul. And I think those times obviously come across to your audience, like, you know. So dig deep and just start to like write and journal. And, you know, that's some of the best ways to come up with posts, is just like start writing. You know, maybe you feel like you don't know what to say, or you're not like a creative writer. You don't have to be. But what do you want to, like, imagine one person. Imagine this, like, yeah, that's fine. Imagine your dream distributor. Okay? And like, give her a name and give her a life and give her, you know, her name is Gina, and she lives in Arkansas, and she is 27 years old. She has 2 kids. She's professional, and she wants to quit her job. Okay? Just have this person in your mind that would be like the perfect distributor for you to work with. And then write out a post to Gina. Like, don't say Dear Gina, but just say like, hey, I know you've been watching me, you know, like, I know you're just tired of going to your job. You wish you had more time with your family. You're just looking for something. And I'm actually looking for you, you know. And I don't know, that's just kind of an example, but have that person in your mind who you want to help with this business. Like, who are you going to bless with this? Because I feel like it's irresponsible of me to not tell people about this. Because like I said, there's so many people looking for something, and maybe they know about this, but maybe they're scared, but maybe, you know, they just need to hear from me. I feel I'm irresponsible if I don't share this every single day in every way that I can with people that I can, without being spammy. It just comes from the heart. Like, I have something that has really blessed my family, you know. I just figured I might as well tell you about it. Like, and I remove any attachment of like them saying yes or no. I take that away, and I'm just like, I just got to tell you because this is amazing. And that's the belief that you need to have, I feel, in this business in order to share it to the level that you need to share it to be successful. You have to already know where you're going and what this is going to do for you in order for you to feel comfortable like sharing it. But that can happen before your goals actually happen. So I know we've been on here for a long time. If anybody has questions, please put them in, because I'm happy to speak to anything that you guys want to hear about. Rochelle had to go help Reese, but if there's specific questions, I'm happy to help. Otherwise, I'm just kind of.
I'm so glad that you both could get on. I'm
Yeah,
like,
this is awesome. I'm glad I'm here too. Like,
I feel bad for the people who missed it because this was awesome. Like,
don't miss next one.
yeah.
Okay, how would you go about doing a party? Okay, I would go about doing it any possible way that you can. So I think sip and sample nowadays is a really, really good term for a party. So I would text whoever you want to host it, or if you're going to be the one hosting it, text your group of friends. Say, hey guys, there's going to be a sip and sample at my house on Thursday, such and such time. I would love for you guys to come, like no pressure, just try out the products. I have some products on hand. It's going to be really fun. I'll also have some wine because I feel like wine is a big draw for people. Whatever your friend's big draw is, let them know. So I would keep it very casual, create the date, create the invite, or not create an invite, but just send a text. And if you guys are working full-time, whatever friends you have at work or whatever break times you get at work, utilize that 100% and be drinking something in a clear container. Whether that's greens or collagen or hydrate, like mix up some type of drink that we have in a public place and do that every single day until people are like, what is that you drink every day? That's an open door, you know, and then be like, oh, well, it's greens and da-da-da, and that we actually also have a Super Reds now, and I'm having a sip and sample party. Do you want to come? And the other way is to see who would want to be a host. So like we were talking about, like our mom's generation or like somebody in your family member, go to them and ask them a favor. Hey, you know, I'm wanting to reach big goals in my business. I know it can happen faster if I get people in a room together. You know, could we set a date where you just invite a few friends over and I will bring everything and do everything and I will have, you know, a sip and sample for you. You can do a sip and sample party with one packet of coffee, one packet of greens, and that's it. Whatever you have, use that. And sign people up on the spot as loyal customers and distributors. I would always, when we did parties, and it might be different nowadays if you have an iPad or something like that, but I would always print off the order form. I don't even know if there is order forms. There might not be.
No, there used to
be.
Okay,
use the app. Never mind. Have your app out and say, here you go. Fill out your information. We can get your order in right now. Like, don't leave the party and be like, okay, think about it. Get back to me. Like, get the orders in at the party. That's the point of a party. So don't be afraid to do that. And don't be afraid to like fumble through it if you've never done it. Because you already know more than every single person coming into that party. So if you just mess up everything, they're all just going to remember like, oh, I tasted this thing that's going to help me lose weight. I want to buy it. Like, you do not have to know a bunch of facts or like be an expert. You just have to show up, and people come, like, people want to buy. People want to buy, but people don't want to be sold to. That's the same thing on social media. People want to buy stuff. But if you're just saying, buy this, buy this, buy this, like, they're just like,
don't do business pages. Like, when you first get started do I need to make another Facebook page? No. Because people will automatically turn it off.
Just post results. Post results, go live, show yourself making your product, talk about what it is, talk about why you like it, but don't continually say like, click here, click to my website, who wants to buy it? There's this girl on my Facebook who just signed up for Pink Zebra. I don't know why. It's like
the wax.
That's like wax and scents and stuff. And I'm just like, homegirl, like her post. She's like, who wants to buy a Pink Zebra? Who's ready? I need one more person who's ready. Okay, guys, come on. These are awesome. Like, you can tell how desperate she is. And like, I'm not saying I never say like, I have 2 spots open for this, but like, I feel like that's different than saying like, I need this. I need a customer. I need a customer today. Who wants it? Like, talk about the value behind the products. Talk about the results behind the products. People don't care about your goals as much as you think they do. They care about them. Mm-hmm. They care about what can they get out of it? So talk to the benefits of the products and people will want to buy them. It just may take a longer time. Like, we are not in control of when people decide that they're ready. We are just in control of showing up every single day, like with on repeat. Like, here's my coffee, it burns fat. Here's my greens, it gives me all this nutrition. Like, until one day somebody's like, okay, wait, what coffee? Tell me about that. When they're ready to lose weight, like, they don't remember all the things that you've been saying every single day.
And one thing, I don't know if I missed this. Sorry, my little one, my oldest,
She's nervous.
She's nervous and she can get anxious about things. So she's like, I think I'm going to throw up. I'm like, no, you're not. Like, you're not. I'm just like, gosh, no, being a mom's so freaking hard sometimes. Okay. So, no, I was saying also, if you feel like you're kind of in a slump too, but the products, like, get passionate again about a product. Like, are you using a product every single day? And are you being consistent? Because when you're passionate about a product and getting results, like, you will just naturally share it more. Like, it will.
Take the before and afters and submit them.
Like, I always know when new distributors start, those that are like, I'm not going to spend any money until I make any money, and I'm just like, well, good luck, because your best friend's not going to want to try something that you're selling if you haven't even tried it.
Yeah. Like, you should want to become a customer first.
Yes.
Like, I wasn't a customer first. Rochelle was, but I wasn't. But I wanted to be. Like, I was like, oh, these products sound cool. So
you were going to get them anyway.
I was going to get them anyway. So talking to turning somebody into a distributor should just be like, cool, this will be a way for you to pay for your products at the very least.
Yeah.
But people shouldn't want to make money without trying the products.
Yeah.
That's
I think sometimes we,
I think we don't join if we don't want to use products. Like, that's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Straight up. Like, I worked retail before this business and they expected me to buy the clothes. Okay, the clothes weren't cheap. Okay, I don't know if you know, but they were expensive, and they expected you. They gave you this discount to expect you to buy the clothes to wear.
That's a good comparison.
And why would you go work somewhere and someone's like, "Oh my gosh, cute top. Where'd you get it? Is it from here?" You could say yes, but if you say no, you sound real stupid. They're gonna go to that store instead of buying from that store.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why is this different? It's not different, and you're getting paid to get your own results. Like, I always tell people that too, and like, they're interested in business. I'm like, you're getting paid to get healthier. You have to tell them why it's important. I don't know. Yeah. But anyways, I really appreciate y'all getting on. I'm gonna stop this recording.